What's going on, you guys? This your boy Bill Mahari here, representing MehariNation Sports Podcast here. Salute to the entire LDBC on a Friday night here in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is episode number 4 of Basketball Conversations. All right, we're gonna discuss stuff about what's going on in the world of basketball and some historical stuff I want to share for you guys. But before we do that, rant Raynon Boykin, salute, brother. Welcome to the channel, man. Now, before we proceed, I wanted to give you guys a little heads up. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., we will have a special pre-fight show in anticipation of the Earl Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter fight. We're going to have a little breakdown on the fight, what the keys are going to be to victory for both fighters and how well this is going to turn out. So y'all stay tuned for that. 3 p.m. Central Time, a special pre-fight show of the Sean Porter versus Earl Spence Jr. fight. Should be fantastic. Now, let's get down to business here. Shakina Dow, what's going on, sister? How you doing? Now, let's get down to it. So, sadly, Carmelo Anthony appears to be not going to be signed by any team at this point. Now, previously, there was speculation. There were speculations that the Brooklyn Nets had heavy interest in signing Carmelo Anthony to their team in the light of Kevin Durant's injury. Well, unfortunately, that possibility has been shut down. The Brooklyn Nets signed a couple of scrub players to fill out the rest of their roster, and now that possibility has been thrown out the window. Now, the most likely scenario I could see him going to either to be the Miami Heat or the LA Clippers. I mean, it's just a travesty how a 10-time All-Star, one of the all-time best scorers of this generation, all of a sudden can't find a suitor that's willing to accept his services. It is a complete travesty of what they've done to Carmelo Anthony. Okay, now I don't want to hear this false narrative about Melo doesn't play defense, he don't play team ball. Well, let me ask y'all this question. How many players in the NBA currently right now that actually play legit defense? Guys like Rudy Gobert, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, and the Patrick Beverleys that are only the few. Raymond Boykins asked why can't Melo get a job? That's a great question. It's not involving around what the players think of him because a lot of the players and former players say that Carmelo Anthony deserves to have a job. It's more on the lines of what is on the executives and the coaches. Now, I can't specifically per se figure out what the real legit uncut reason why Carmelo Anthony hasn't found a job in the NBA, but I have my theories about why. I think a lot of it has to do due to the fact that he is a guy that is not willing to accept a 6-man role. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely, I think it's a lot to do with not accepting a bench role, even though during those 10 games with the Houston Rockets last season, he came off the bench and only started 3 times. So I don't buy into the narrative that he can't accept a 6-man role because remember, you know what I mean? The thing is, his off the court activities are basically has nothing but clean. He hasn't done anything wrong off the scenes, but a lot of it has to do with people's belief that Carmelo's ego is too high for any team to take a chance on him, and it's just ridiculous to see how what is become of Carmelo Anthony right now because there are 100 players in the NBA right now that are no better than Carmelo Anthony, and the fact that he hasn't had a roster spot is absolutely ridiculous. You understand? I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's just mind boggling to me because there are 100 players in the NBA right now that don't deserve a job right now. I'll put it like this. Hey Duke, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Welcome to the channel, my man. Now, I'm gonna throw this out at you. Do y'all think that Vince Carter should retire? Okay, because here's my thing about this. Because Vince Carter's been able to maintain a job for 20 seasons, but all of a sudden, Carmelo Anthony, who's accomplished way more than Vince Carter did in his entire career, all of a sudden can't get a job in the NBA. Okay, so I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Omar Page, welcome to the channel, sir. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the channel. So the thing is this: it's mind-boggling to me how Melo is putting in a lot of work during the offseason. I've seen a lot of his tapes. He's been putting in work. He's stayed in shape, and he's slimming down in weight. Still has his jump shot. He can still post up, okay? And all of a sudden now he can't find a job. I mean, I'm telling you, it has to be from politics. I think it has a lot to do about, you know, executives giving him a bad rap about himself on their teams, and I think it starts out what happened in Houston. I don't understand it. Melo did everything he could, and then all of a sudden they just cut him like a bad habit, and I don't. I don't. I believe it's all had to do with politics because this is more than beyond basketball. Because right now, there's no he should not be he hasn't done anything that merits being blackballed out of the NBA. And I find that absolutely ridiculous. So sad to see. I hope that Melo keeps his hopes up and keeps his pride together. I'm sure that it's been a very tough time for him this past year, what has been going on with him. But you know, I don't really want to see his career end basically because the sport did not appreciate him. But the way it looks right now, that's what it's going to turn out to be. And it's completely unfair, you know. Oh, good question. Raymond Morgan says, "Do you think Mike D'Antoni has anything to do with it?" I actually really was thinking about that, and I really do believe that Mike D'Antoni may have something to do with it because remember, he coached Melo when he was in New York and when he was in Houston, and those two guys really they were friendly with each other, but they just couldn't coexist with each other, and I think that I really think that Mike D'Antoni may have put in a bad rap on Carmelo Anthony that is now being spread through all the other coaches in the league and through all the executives that may want to sign him. Shakira Jalo says had a public cheating on his wife and had a baby. Yeah, that too. That does play a role with that, but that should have had nothing to do with him having a job. So I don't really care about that at all. But I think what happened in Houston, I think either Daryl Morey and Mike D'Antoni are putting in a bad word about Carmelo Anthony. In my opinion, I don't know what the specific details of that is, but hopefully when more stories come out, we'll probably get better information about it. Yeah, bad blood from New York. Agreed. Nothing good comes out in New York. I'll tell you that. I hope Brooklyn Child isn't hearing from this, but a lot of bad stuff comes out from New York. It's just not a good look, you know. So, but just like I said before, I hope that Melo's career can end on his terms instead of the sport closing the door on his career. But the way it looks right now, I really believe that the sport is going to shut the door on him, and it's completely unfair. It truly is. Brooklyn Child Boxing, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight? Yeah, man. So now I wanted to discuss about another thing though too. And Salute the Ticket TV put out an excellent live stream last night that I had an honor for him to debate about this. So here's a little subject I got in mind here. Okay. Now, apparently, a lot of the LeBron James fanboys have been throwing a lot of heat at Kobe Bryant. Before I do that, I said, Brooklyn Child said, as soon as I come on, you talking about New York. Oh no, no, no. We're not. I'm not bringing about anything bad about New York. All I'm saying is, we were just talking about the Carmelo stuff. So it's all good, man. Go Knicks. Hope that makes it feel better. So, okay, let me get back into this. So, Kobe Bryant um has been recently training with has been recently been engaged in a lot of training sessions with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Okay, so apparently a lot of the LeBron James fanboys have been a little upset about Kobe Bryant trading those two superstars instead of LeBron James. Keeping in mind that Kobe Bryant had to literally get into LeBron James's face after the Lakers were off to a bad start to last season. Okay, now let me just say this off the rip. Okay, these James fanboys need to start shutting up and start looking at the facts of the matter. Okay, now here's a big difference between Carmelo. With Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. Okay, LeBron James is more of a team oriented type player and wants everybody to share in the glory, while Kobe Bryant is a ruthless assassin, guy that wants the ball every time and wants to cut your heart out every single time he stepped on the basketball court. Okay, now this was a guy in Kobe that faced a lot of heavy competition during his prime. Now, I get a little kick when a lot of Kobe haters say that, oh, um, Kobe was carried by Shaquille O'Neal. Crap, crap. And here's the truth here, okay? If you look back in terms of the centers that Shaq won Finals MVP with, 2000, okay, 2000. Um, He went up against an aging Rick Smits in the 2000 finals against Indiana. Okay. An aging Rick Smits with bad feet. Okay. And he had his way with them. Okay. 2001, an aging Dikembe Mutombo. Even though he won Defensive Player of the Year, he was on the downside. And then in 2002, he went up against Todd McCullough. Okay. So the bottom line is this: I truly believe that these LeBron James fanboys want to try to trash out Kobe because they want LeBron James to be the assassin type player like Kobe. But you can't develop that. You can't develop that. Either you were born with it or you're not. Okay? Let's see who Kobe had to face against when he won those 3 championships with Shaq. Reggie Miller, Allen Iverson, okay? Jason Kidd, Tracy McGrady, Ray Allen, Vince Carter. Do you want me to keep going? Huh? So get out of your feelings, okay? Get out your feelings about what Kobe does. Listen, Kobe is a grown man, and listen, more players in the NBA gravitate more to Kobe Bryant than they do with LeBron James. Okay? That's the truth of the matter. Listen, Paul George, he's from LA. He gravitated to Kobe when he was a youngster. Kawhi Leonard, same thing. Listen, they gravitated more to Kobe because Kobe was the kind of guy that wants to beat you and wants to rip your heart out at the same time. That's killer instinct. Shoot, I'm coughing like crazy. My throat's been itching. So, Kobe Bryant, complete assassin. LeBron James, talented player. He's a winner himself, but never had that killer instinct. Can you imagine if LeBron had even at least 10% of Kobe's mentality? He would be unstoppable. But LeBron, through all his talents, was very passive. Sorry about that. My throat's really scratching me today. So let's go ahead and check in the chat real quick. Brooklyn Child Boxing says Carmelo is one of my favorite players. Been following him since he was a McDonald's All American. Word, yes. He also said in the future I would like to join in to some basketball discussion. For sure, no problem. Not a problem at all. Duke says I'm heading out to a flight in about an hour, trying to avoid the LA traffic. It says George drive from Vegas to there to see the fight. Oh, cool. That's great. I wish I was out there in Vegas. I mean, in LA to see the fight there too. My brother's actually traveling out to San Diego for a friend's wedding there, so he's gonna go out there have a good time. But I've already ordered out the pay-per-view and ordered out my favorite food, so I'm in there. I'm prepared and ready to go for the fight. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, okay. Brooklyn Child Val says, I'm a LeBron guy. I've had many debates in regards to the Kobe versus LeBron debate. Yeah, no problem. I'm more of a favorite. I'm more biased to Kobe because I saw Kobe do a lot more than what LeBron did. Okay. Now, I'm never gonna take away LeBron's greatness. Oh my goodness, I can't stop coughing. Sorry about that, people. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hopefully that'll help. But listen, I grew up watching Kobe Bryant and been around to see LeBron James from his first game in the NBA. No doubt about both first ballot Hall of Famers, both champions and great players in their own eras. But I cannot I have to put Kobe in a higher pedestal than I do with LeBron James because LeBron through all of his through all of his greatness has had so many failures and so many just questionable decisions on the court. Okay? Passed up game winning shots, being passive aggressive, during clutch moments. While Kobe Bryant, you know, even though he missed his own share of shots, was never afraid to take the game winning shot. That's for sure. And here's a great example of this. During that 2012 that 2012 All-Star weekend, LeBron James had an opportunity to win the game, but then passed up the shot to Carmelo Anthony. And Kobe Bryant literally had to get into his face and say to him, "What are you doing?" What are you doing, Kobe? I mean LeBron. You got to go in there and take the shot. What are you doing? And I guarantee you not. Oh, okay. For sure, Brooklyn Child Boxing. I'll make sure to sub your channel too. For sure, man. No problem. Let me do that right now. Let me check it out. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely subscribe. No problem. There you go. Yeah, make sure to subscribe to Brooklyn Child Boxing, y'all. I'm sorry. My throat has been tickling me. It's been driving me crazy. Y'all hold on 1 second. Okay. Hope I'll survive this. I'm just gonna have to just get it through it. So, but I'll try to keep my talking points as short as possible. Back to what I was saying. Kobe Bryant and LeBron James are both different animals. Both of them are both great players in their own right, but Kobe Bryant, I'm just putting him much more of a higher pedestal than I would than LeBron James. And here's the other thing though too. When Kobe Bryant was a high schooler in Philadelphia, he wanted to face against Michael Jordan instead of just opting to go to college because he was going to plan on going to Duke. He opted to go to the NBA to face against Michael Jordan. Now I want y'all to think about that. Think about how, you know, think about how crazy and how savage that is. Okay? um Kobe Bryant wanted to face against LeBron James. Wanted to face against Michael Jordan, and he wanted to guard him one on one. You know what I mean? And over the course of time, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant developed a unique relationship, and Michael Jordan showed him the ropes. Okay, and Kobe Bryant learned from his skill set too, and became basically the same kind of player. You know, and Michael Jordan said it best. If he played against LeBron James, he would break him down easy because he knew how to break him down mentally. While he couldn't do that with Kobe because Kobe stole all of his moves. Okay? So back in those days, you had to earn everything and you had to earn your reputation. And I felt like LeBron James, you know, earned his right as one of the great players in the game. But is he the greatest player of all time? I can't put him above Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan because of what these guys represented and how they played in their primes. So that's how I kind of see it. So that's pretty much what I had to say about that though too. Now what the Lakers better hope this season is the Lakers better hope to get off to a good start. Okay? Now, if Anthony Davis is going to get hurt sometime this year, okay? If he can at least play 70 games, that'll be enough. Okay? So if that happens, I think the Lakers could make a good case of coming out of the West. But I'd said it before in previous live stream. My team to come out of the West is the Los Angeles Clippers. I think because of the tandem duo of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and the way they play defense, I think that they're on pace to have an opportunity to get into the finals and possibly contend for a championship. Now, let me talk about another thing though too. And I might have to cut this short because my throat is on its last legs. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be a free agent at the end of next season. Now, the one team that has an opportunity at his services is the Golden State Warriors. Okay. Now, according to ESPN, the Golden State Warriors by next year will have the cap space to sign a max deal for Giannis. Okay. Okay, it's just boxing. What's going on, brother? How you doing? So, if that's going to be the case, we're going to have another super team again with Golden State. When Clay comes back, and then you add Curry into the mix with Draymond Green, I'm telling you, we're about to have another super team again. And the only difference is going to be if Giannis can improve that jump shot. That's going to be critical for me. Because when the Warriors had Kevin Durant, Durant can space the floor, he can post up, and he can hit jump shots. Yep. So we're gonna be seeing another dominant lineup again in Golden State if Giannis decides to stay in in Milwaukee. Okay, so my concern about the Milwaukee Bucks is you lose Malcolm Brogdon, and then you sign on and you decide to invest more in Chris Middleton. So I think that's going to hurt the Milwaukee Bucks in the long run. I think they should have did a lot more to keep Malcolm Brogdon on their team. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because Giannis really liked Malcolm, and he felt that he was going to be probably one of the key pieces in that championship puzzle. But now the thing is, if the Bucks do not make it out of the East next year, I think that Giannis may take the opportunity to play in Golden State, barring what happens this year. Okay, so we'll see what happens for sure. All right, let me check it out. It's Just Boxing. All right, go ahead and subscribe to Just Boxing too. There you go. All right, they subscribe to you, my brother. So please be sure to subscribe to It's Just Boxing too. You know what I mean? Go ahead and do so, though, man. So that's how I kind of see it at this point. I think that if the Warriors can pull off Giannis again, oh man, it's gonna be crazy once again. And I think 78 is gonna go blackout for almost a week as well, and might block off all the East Bay brothers there too. You know what I mean? It's gonna be really really crazy. Agreed. Malcolm Brogdon was a major loss for the Bucks. Yep, I think so too. I think that he's got more upside than what Chris Middleton does, because Chris Middleton can be very very inconsistent. Okay, especially when he tries to break people off the dribble, because that's not what Chris Middleton does well. He's more of a catch and shoot type player and more of a finisher than a shot creator. Malcolm Brogdon could do more, and he's much more athletic, although he is injury prone. But I think losing Malcolm Brogdon is going to hurt the Bucks more in the long run, because then you don't have another guy with athleticism and upside with Giannis that's going to really be key when they go against either Philadelphia or one of the other elite teams in the East. So that's just how I kind of see it at this point. So it's win or bust for the Milwaukee Bucks, because if they don't, I think that Giannis may look elsewhere. Although he said in the past he wants to stay in Milwaukee, but if the organization is not doing enough to keep him happy or show that the team is showing progress, then why waste your time there? You know, I do hope he stays with the Milwaukee Bucks. I really hope so too. But like I've said, there's no loyalty in sports. Okay, if the organization feels that they can't use you anymore, they'll send you out of there. Just ask DeMar DeRozan. Okay, very loyal to the Toronto Raptors until they decided to trade him to San Antonio for Kawhi Leonard. So these things happen. So I hope that the Milwaukee Bucks can at least win a championship. So at least it will give Giannis an opportunity to reconsider staying in Milwaukee. But we just have to wait till the season starts. So that's just how it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this up, because my throat is just really driving me crazy. It's basically been itching and scratching me. So, but y'all stay tuned. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., we'll have the pre-fight show in anticipation for Sean Porter versus Earl Spence Jr. I'll try to get some other guests on there to get their insights and opinions on the fight, but it's going to be an epic fight, between these two great boxers at 147. It's going to be an epic classic. So this is the conclusion of episode 4 of Basketball Conversations on MehariNation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LDBC, and we out. See y'all tomorrow, guys.